One day, in a town not unlike yours, a young man named Rayhan awoke from a dream he could no longer remember. But something lingered, a strange heaviness in his chest, like the memory of a sorrow never named. Rayhan was 23, quiet and mostly unnoticed. He lived in a small apartment above a bookstore in the heart of a dusty, old neighborhood. He wasn't the type of person you'd find in the center of a party, or leading a protest, or doing anything that drew too much attention. In fact, Rayhan had perfected the art of invisibility. He liked it that way, or at least that's what he told himself. He worked as a freelance designer online, rarely going out except for groceries or the occasional coffee. His days were quiet, repetitive, and safe. He told himself he liked quiet. He told himself he liked safe. But underneath it all, there was a quiet hum, like a whisper echoing through his soul. Something was off. It all began to unravel the day Rayhan found the journal. Rayhan's landlord, an old man named Mr. Hashim, had asked him to help clean the attic of the bookstore. In exchange, Rayhan would get a month's rent free. It was the kind of deal a struggling freelancer couldn't refuse. The attic was filled with cobwebs, dust, and forgotten boxes of memories. Most were filled with old books, moth-eaten sweaters, or rusted tools. But one box, in particular, caught Rayhan's eye. It was wrapped in brown cloth and tied with twine, almost as if it had been intentionally hidden. Inside, he found a leather-bound journal. The pages were yellowed, and the ink had faded, but the handwriting was elegant and purposeful. The first page read, "The truth is not what we run from. It is what we bury, deep beneath the lies we tell ourselves. And sometimes, it takes losing everything to finally see what's real." The journal belonged to someone named Ayan Malik. Rayhan didn't know who Ayan was, but as he flipped through the pages, he couldn't stop reading. The journal wasn't just personal reflections. It was a confession, raw, brutally honest, and heartbreakingly familiar. Ayan spoke of a life built on illusions, the need to be liked, the fear of disappointing others, the mask worn every day to hide the truth. Rayhan felt as though Ayan was speaking directly to him. "I told myself I was happy, that success meant peace, that if people liked me, I'd like myself too. But I was wrong. I was just afraid." The journal haunted Rayhan. Each night, he would read a few pages, and each night he felt more seen and more exposed. He realized how much of his own life was built on similar lies. Not big, dramatic ones. No. Just small ones. The kind that chip away at your soul quietly. He told himself he didn't care about his father's approval, but deep down, every decision he made was influenced by that cold voice from childhood. He told himself he liked being alone, but the silence at night made him feel hollow. He told himself he wasn't creative enough to pursue his dreams, but he never truly tried. The journal wasn't just a story of Ayan's unraveling. It was a mirror. Rayhan found himself questioning everything, every belief, every habit, every word he repeated to himself. And once you start questioning the lies you tell yourself, the world becomes a very different place. Rayhan remembered Zara. She had been his best friend in university, bright, bold, and always pushing him to step out of his shell. But after graduation, they drifted apart. Or rather, Rayhan drifted away. He had told himself she was too busy, that people grow apart. But now, with the journal fresh in his mind, he saw it for what it really was. Zara had challenged his false beliefs. She had seen through his "I'm fine" facade, and it terrified him. He had ghosted her after a conversation he could no longer ignore. "Rayhan," she had said once, "why do you always hide the best parts of yourself? You act like you're okay being invisible, but I don't believe you. I think you're scared of being seen." He laughed it off back then, told her she was reading too much into things. But now he wasn't so sure. One night, unable to sleep, Rayhan opened the final page of the journal. It wasn't long, just a note written in shaky handwriting. "The first truth I accepted was this: I am not who I thought I was. I am not the lies I built. I am not the masks I wore. I am not the fear. I am what's left after the masks fall away. And that is worth discovering." The next morning, Rayhan did something he hadn't done in years. He called his mother. They talked for a while. About nothing, really. The weather, her garden, the neighbor's cat. But at the end, he said, "Amy, I'm sorry I've been distant. I think I've been lying to myself about a lot of things." There was a pause. And then, the gentlest reply, "It's okay, Beta. We all do that sometimes." Rayhan decided to find out who Ayan Malik was. He asked Mr. Hashim, who, after a long pause, sighed. "Ayan was my nephew," he said quietly. "Brilliant boy. but he struggled with demons. Passed away 5 years ago. He left that journal here. I didn't have the heart to throw it away. Rayhan felt a strange sense of grief for someone he never knew, but also gratitude. Ion's words had awakened something in him, something he thought he had lost: courage. He didn't change overnight. There were no dramatic montages or inspiring speeches, but slowly, Rayhan began to dismantle the lies. He reconnected with Sarah, not with an apology, but with honesty. You were right. I was hiding, and I don't want it anymore. He started going to open mic nights, sharing poetry he had kept hidden in notebooks. He started saying no when he wanted to. Started saying yes to things that scared him. He even posted a blog online, under his real name, titled The Lies We Tell Ourselves. It went viral within a week. People wrote to him from across the world, sharing their own self-deceptions and their small awakenings. And in that, Rayhan found something he never expected: connection. The biggest lie Rayhan had told himself was that he was broken, that something in him was fundamentally wrong, that his fears, his doubts, his introversion made him unworthy of love or greatness. But through Ion's words and his own journey, he came to see the truth. We all wear masks. We all lie to ourselves to protect what we think is too fragile to face. But it is only in facing the truth that we truly begin to live. Rayhan wasn't perfect. He still had bad days. Still had moments where the old voice crept in. But now he had something stronger: awareness. And with awareness comes the power to change. Somewhere, someone is watching this, thinking, that sounds like me. Maybe you've told yourself you're not good enough, that you'll never be loved, that your dreams are too big, that your voice doesn't matter. But let this be your wake-up call. You are not your lies. You are not your fears. You are not the voice that says, stay small. You are what remains after the lies fall apart. So pick up your pen, write your truth, live your story, and wake up.